The Duchess of Sausages dropped a fresh as ever marmalade reel on Instagram on Sunday afternoon. In Meghan's own voice on the recorded audio, the camera caught the diminutives Arch and Lil for the two children whose faces the brand has spent 6 years officially keeping out of every frame. And the kitchen the reel was filmed in is on Hello Magazine's read by Monday afternoon, not the kitchen at Montecito Manor. So today we are covering the Sunday as ever reel and the off-site kitchen the brand team did not flag in advance. The Rob Shooter podcast briefing landed yesterday with the Duchess now on the record believing she is the more valuable half of the Montecito operation. And the Closer magazine breadwinner column carrying a 5-word warning the wife has been delivering to her husband across the working calendar. So welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Let's get down to it. So let me start with the Sunday reel because the construction of this one is the entire week in a single Instagram carousel. Meghan posted the video to the As Ever Instagram account on Sunday afternoon, the 24th of May, right? And the setup was a kitchen counter, a knife, a tray of jam pots, raspberry, strawberry, orange marmalade. The voiceover, recorded by Meghan herself, walks the viewer through the family's favorite flavors. In Meghan's exact words on the published audio, "Everyone in my family has a different favorite. My husband loves the raspberry." Yeah, the husband's favorite is the raspberry. Then the script lands on the line the British comment sections have been quoting since Monday lunchtime. In Meghan's exact wording, Lil likes the strawberry best. And the next beat, Arch loves both flavors. Alright, so now we're talking about Lil and Arch. This is the same Meghan who has spent 6 years on the public position that the children's faces could not appear in any frame because the children, in her own framing on that Oprah couch, are private citizens whose privacy the household is duty-bound to protect. That is the same Meghan whose As Ever signature candle number 506 was branded on Archie's actual 7th birthday in May with Prince Archie of Sausages carried in the retail copy before it was scrubbed. That is the same Meghan who, on Sunday afternoon's reel, just shrunk a 7-year-old Prince Archie of Sausages to a one-syllable kitchen diminutive for the purposes of moving $12 marmalade. And here's the receipt Hello Magazine carried in the coverage on Monday afternoon. The kitchen the reel was filmed in Hello's exact phrasing, did not appear to be in the Montecito mansion she shares with Prince Harry. So that was somebody else's kitchen. Now, Hello went on the same piece to note that royal fans had drawn comparisons between the Sunday reel and the Prince of Wales sitting down with Heart FM on Saturday morning to deliver his late grandmother's scone recipe on the record. I talked about that on yesterday's video. The Prince of Wales records a British audio interview on Saturday morning explaining in his grandmother's own framing that the cream always goes on first. And the Duchess of Sausages on the Sunday afternoon next posts a kitchen counter promo for jam in a kitchen the British weekly press is not prepared to confirm is actually hers, with the 7-year-old Prince Archie shortened to the consonant cluster the receipt line needs. Arch. All right. So speaking of the marriage running underneath that reel, let me tell you that Rob Shooter put on the record on Monday evening. Shooter, the veteran tabloid journalist who has been covering the sausage operation for close to a decade, sat down on Maureen Callahan's podcast, The Nerve, and ran a parallel piece on his own Substack newsletter on Monday, the 25th. The substance of the briefing is the most direct line on the marriage Shutter has put on the public record all year. In his exact phrasing on the recording, Meghan has now decided that my sources are telling me she now believes that she is more powerful, more powerful than Harry, that is. She's gonna make more money by stepping forward by herself, not with him. Oh yeah, the by herself, not with him, is something that I have been predicting since 2021, so alright. But Shutter continued on the same podcast. Whenever Harry appears beside her, everything becomes about royal drama and family feuds. Meghan wanted the spotlight on her work, not the chaos surrounding the royal family. I disagree. Because for Meghan, the chaos has always been the goal. Because the chaos brings headlines and attention, and you know that people like Meghan just crave attention all the time. But the chaos surrounding the royal family in the briefing's framing is the husband. The husband, Harry, whose surname the brand is built on. You know, the prince, the actual royal connection. The husband, whose Sandringham trust is the line the household burn rate has been quietly draining for 6 years. The husband, whose Centebelly defamation docket is on the London High Court register. The husband whose New Statesman op-ed, you remember that? 11 days ago? Lecture a country. He does not leave in on the subject of anti-Semitism without naming Hamas October the 7th or the Wood Green Crown Court docket. Yeah, very convenient to leave all that outside. I don't know how it works. Shutter's closing line is the one the Sausage Squad cannot brief away. In his exact wording, she knows there is a problem with Harry. Oh, no, that is juicy. She knows there is a problem with Harry. So Harry's like a problem right now. Is she going to do something about this? I don't know. I really don't know. But that is a veteran tabloid byline on the record on a Monday podcast on the morning after the Offside Marmalade reel went up. And methane is, in Shutter's framing, no longer in the merger. Methane is in the dissolution prep. And the husband, the gingerbread, Howie, on the briefing, is the obstacle. No, that is, I think that has, that is nothing new, but still had to report that. Now let me tell you what Closer magazine carried in parallel on Monday afternoon, because the financial mechanism underneath the Shutter briefing is the part the brand team needed kept off the wires. The Closer piece carries an unnamed insider close to the household with a 5-word warning Meghan has, in the source's account, been delivering to her husband across the working calendar. In the source's exact wording, Meghan said, "I can't do it all." So yeah, 5 words. I can't do it all. The household burn rate is the issue. Meghan is, in the Closer sources framing, basically the breadwinner. So Meghan, I don't know what is Meghan exactly doing to be the breadwinner, or as she's framing herself. I don't know. Maybe you can help me in the comments. But the founder of this American lifestyle brand, whose gem line on Sunday's evidence is being modeled in someone else's kitchen, I don't know, is naming the gingerbread in that same briefing as the obstacle on the cash position as well. So it's like, why is she married to Harry anyway? What is the exchange she's going through? She's going to sacrifice for, I don't know, maybe she could be more famous without Harry. That's what she's implying, according to these sources. But the source list puts the inherited capital pool at roughly 20 million United States dollars, the combined Diana Fund and the Queen Elizabeth bequest. So, haven't they spent any money? But the capital in the same reporting is heavily invested. I don't know in what, in all the thing that they had not sold, and the As Ever website. And the husband, in the source's exact framing, he refuses to dip into it and says it's for their eventual old age and to help their kids get a start in life with a good education and all of that. Their eventual old age. I, for one, wish Harry and Meghan a long and prosperous life because, as I have said many times, the more shenanigans come from them, the more material we can just comment about that. Just comment about that. And yeah, not gonna lie, the children's education, that is important. And that is commendable. And that is apparently the standing position of the man, the gingerbread, whose wife on the Monday podcast has put on the record that she has decided to go solo because the joint photo line keeps pulling the spotlight back to the family feud. And I wonder why, because you know that we have been saying that someone, somewhere is interested in this feud sparking, having this noise around. It is very convenient for Meghan to remain in the headlines. And the closing line of the closer source is the one the brand team did not want printed. In the source's words, the pressure on her right now is immense. And you'll think Harry would want to kick it into high gear and help out, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Yeah, doesn't appear to be the case. The wife, on the public record, is the breadwinner. The husband, on the public record, is sitting on a $20 million inheritance behind an old age and education lockout the financial planners signed off on a decade ago, allegedly. But the marriage on the very public record, across 2 outlets in 2 working days is the merger that no longer holds. Because, Meghan wants out, apparently, because she is the breadwinner. She's the most important. Harry's pulling away from her. So it's pulling that spotlight away from her. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Much love and bliss.